Good morning. How did you get on Monday? Day off for me, early night. So let's take a look at the potential. Yesterday's green screens, I did no trading at all, but there looked to be a number of interesting angles. No real trades in the Leeds match with West Ham's expected goals against 1.66 taken advantage of by Leeds United. Hammers continue to struggle. No real trading angle there at all yesterday. Any angle into this particular match would be all about the in-play stats, given the fact it was 2.5 the favourite Preston and Sheffield United. Expected goals, well, very unlike a Chris Wilder Sheffield United, creating exceptional chances and converting 2 of them, but still, even though they had poorer expected goals, Preston delivered. Would you have laid Sheffield United 0-2 up? That's the question. They are normally 0-1 merchants. The advantage you have in laying them is there's only 16 minutes gone in the match. So a huge amount left. Don't forget, it's a side at home. 2.5 the favourite, i.e. could be anything. Old Dobbin got on his horse, got a goal before half time. So up to you if you would have played that one. Paris FC and Nantes. Well, 2 goals was what we were looking for. And this is a gentle reminder to you all about newly promoted teams and how they can be a little inconsistent. Paris FC, newly promoted, Nantes having trouble scoring those 2 goals. Angle in, for me, possibly if Nantes scored first and didn't score the second consecutive. That would have been a possible angle in. And indeed, that would have come to fruition with El Arabi's 2nd minute opener. And if we stuck to our guns at Paris FC, at their best, have 2 goals in them, well, what a quick reaction, disallowed alas. Chergu turning up for a 1-1, and that would have been your tradable outcome. Arguably, if it was 1-1, could have laid the draw second half. But up to you if you'd have played that one yesterday. Nantes, not really renowned for their 2 goals, but they were playing a newly promoted side who might just struggle, which indeed they did. Well, Werder Bremen and Union Berlin were 2 sides in very poor form. We've had to stretch your imagination a bit, confidence-wise, to lay that draw second half. But Werder Bremen did turn up with a goal. That would have produced a later back trade, hopefully. What you could have done, if you checked expected goals, particularly first half, the creation or lack thereof of quality chances suggested you could lay over 0.5 goals at the beginning of the second half and sit on it. You'd have got to the 72nd minute to lay that draw. So that's a possible angle there. AC Milan against Pisa, surely. A trading angle in there if Pisa took the lead, the newly promoted side. But no, Rafael Leao opening up for AC Milan, as you'd expect. Quadrado 1-1 for Pisa. Now that's when it gets interesting. Enzola making it 1-2 for Pisa. We had enough time between the 86th and the 93rd minute to take on that newly promoted side away from home. So I hope you spotted that one. Athakame, stick him on your Christmas card list, that's for sure. Luka Modric, nearly as old as Joe Biden, still delivering. More fun and games from a 1.53 shot. Were they in trouble at any stage during this match, Heerenveen against NAC Breda? Well, an opening goal for them, but a NAC Breda lead before the hour mark could have had us interested here. And bring on the cavalry, Kirsten and Gurbuts on the hour mark, and off we go. 2-2, 3-2. That's your cash out, or indeed, that is your cash out if you're taking on the away side, leading 1-2. Very early enough in the second half for the home side to do something. But Nassau coming up with the 3-3 late on. Excellent stuff. But that's your trading angle. And a gentle reminder, it's not the final score when you're trading. It's what happens on the way to the final score. Well, I did wonder why Real Sociedad are favourite. Maybe it was down to their 1.56 expected goals, despite not scoring 2 goals. Regularly enough, they have that threat, and they materialised that threat yesterday against Sevilla. Would have been a tricky match, this for me, to take on Sevilla, given the fact they're in such good form this season. But it was all done by half-time. No real trading angle for me yesterday. I wouldn't have laid that draw at the beginning of or in the middle of the first half. Real Sociedad stats, did they mirror their pre-match expected goals for? Indeed they did. Look at that, 1.6. And that tells the story of Sevilla yesterday. Very, very good defensive display, you'd have to say, from Real Sociedad, keeping that lot to 0.22 expected goals for the duration of the match. Quite something. And look at the discrepancy first half as well. Quite a difference between the two sides. So if ever Sevilla scored first, they would look very vulnerable, wouldn't they? 0.08 expected goals second half. So a very, very good defensive display from Sociedad, precisely delivering 1.58 or 1.66 expected goals off the top of my head. And look at that today, 1.6. So you can see the pre-match analysis can help you see teams' strengths and weaknesses. Let's have a look at today's trading angles. It's a Saturday, which means it's over trading day. So we've got to be disciplined. And we have mentioned this with members. There are some ways for you to regulate over trading. One of them is to pretend you're playing with £1,000 stake. That will make you think twice if you're getting involved. For example, Werder Bremen and Union Berlin, two sides struggling this season. That would just temper your enthusiasm a little. And you may find yourself looking for better candidates. Looking through today, the general starting point for me is odds-on favourites, particularly at home. But if we want to stop over trading on a Saturday, focus on the elite leagues only. By which I mean English Premier League, Italian SerieA, Spanish Segunda, German Bundesliga, French Liga, Dutch Eredivisie. Stick to that lot and even put the French Liga to the back burner a little bit. It's a bit like the Championship. It's very tough to call. But the other ones are very readable, and that will take all of the noise out on a Saturday. So if you join me for a live stream today, have a primary focus on the elite leagues. I do go round the houses, but the problem is we overtrade on a Saturday. Leave ourselves picking up accumulated liability losses on draws, for example. So the first point of call is the English Premier League. Chelsea against Sunderland. Well, we'll have a look in the XG section for Chelsea's qualities here, but they're a compelling side in attack. Post-Champions League, post-international Chelsea shouldn't really be worried today against this Sunderland side. But both teams have scored in 5 recent Chelsea matches, so they might give Sunderland an avenue in. Sunderland failing to score in 3 away matches might see themselves in a spot of bother today. Newcastle, coming off the back of an excellent Champions League win midweek, are entertaining Fulham. Liverpool and Arsenal and Brighton are the only teams to have beaten Newcastle this season. It takes a form side to beat Newcastle this season. With Fulham struggling away from home, this is a good opportunity, as long as Newcastle aren't fatigued post-Champions League, for them to get 3 points with home advantage. Manchester United and Brighton. Well, Manchester United putting together a pretty decent set of results. When in Brighton matches, you're going to get both teams to score as a possible angle. So that could interest them today against Manchester United, who are on a run of 3 consecutive home wins. And they're scoring 2 goals at least. What you will see in the XG is a surprisingly strong Manchester United expected goals for. They just have to start converting. And Liverpool put an end to their 4-match losing run in the Champions League midweek. This is another tough encounter away at Brentford. Liverpool are scoring in every match, so if they do lose, it tends to be 2-1. So just be wary of that. Both Chelsea and Manchester United have visited Brentford and came away with not much. A draw and a win for Brentford against those two sides. They won't be fearing Liverpool today, particularly a Liverpool side who are just struggling a little. English Championship will be purely in-play stats today. But my primary focus, in order to keep the workload down and not overtrade on a Saturday, if I was to play the Championship, it would be odds-on favourites to start with. And we've got the usual crowd. Coventry, Ipswich and Middlesbrough tend to be odds-on all the time. I could see in the Middlesbrough-Wrexham match the possibility of Wrexham scoring. They tend to score. But Middlesbrough should have far too much nous for them for the newly promoted side, who remain competitive in all of their matches. So I'll be looking on that one with interest. Coventry, of course, under Fat Frank, full of goals. And with home advantage, you would expect them not to cock this one up. Similar story in English League One. The primary focus will be on odds on favourites. The shorter price, the better. Because this is a non-committal market when they have a favourite at home at evens. It's telling you, we think this is going to be a little bit tight. Probable to both teams to score. Probable 1 goal in it result. So that's what I get from 1.96 home favourite. English League 2. Again, primary focus on the odds on favourites. The shorter, the better. That will limit our workload in these leagues. And you saw last Saturday and last Sunday, as soon as you start trading in these leagues, start to write off your liability. Accept it as a loss, because that's how you should be treating English League 1, English League 2. Very, very tricky. Let's go to French League 1. Paris Saint-Germain odds on against Brest. No need to really look in depth at that. Or shall we? Let's take a quick look at Brest. A match of real contrast. Brests tend to see goals before half-time. Paris Saint-Germain have had only 2 over 2.5 goal matches, so just bear that in mind. It might be a subdued performance from Paris Saint-Germain today, topping off at 2 goals. Normally, you'd be knocking on the door of 3 goals for them. Monaco, coming off the back of the Champions League, are entertaining Toulouse today. Toulouse coming into this in solid form, but Monaco are unbeaten at home. It's going to be an interesting match. Toulouse have some winning momentum coming into this one. And Marseille, well, they red-carded midweek, was the only reason that they didn't win in the Champions League against Sporting Lisbon. That could be very tasty odds, but it does tell you it's a clash of the Titans in French League. In the German Bundesliga today, Augsburg against Leipzig. Leipzig's odds look very tasty at evens. 5 wins and a draw last 6 for Leipzig, but the reason the market is hesitant is because they are winning despite not scoring that second goal. So if Augsburg stay with a 1-goal deficit, they can always capture that. That's why it's a little lukewarm at the back there. Bayern Munich don't need any introduction at all. And Mönchengladbach have been god-awful this season. Eintracht Frankfurt and St. Pauli. Frankfurt slightly favoured here now that St. Pauli are starting to wobble a little domestically. The newly promoted, well, not newly promoted, a couple of seasons ago. Talking of newly promoted, Hamburg and Wolfsburg is a very difficult match to unpack. 2 consecutive home wins for Hamburg might give them something to cling on to here today. Hoffenheim and Heidenheim will expect with the Hoff goals before half-time and a possible both teams to score angle. Heidenheim have been very competitive in their matches as well. If they start lighting up the in-play stats, keep an eye on them. Dortmund and Köln could be an absolute goal fest today. FC Köln have really accounted well, the newly promoted side. Despite scoring in all, their wins tend to be 1-0 only. I don't think Dortmund will be letting them win 1-0 today. Italian SerieA, I think Como are far too strong for newly promoted Parma. Cesc Fabregas' side, disciplined etc. Watch out for an away positive. It's a derby-style match, Napoli and Inter. Give that one a miss. Atalanta against Cremonese, coming off the back of, I think it was midweek European action, playing a newly promoted side in Cremonese. They'll be licking their lips, Atalanta, today. In the Dutch Eredivisie, it doesn't look a very appealing coupon at all. I'm not going to look at this one too much. Mid-table sides and 2.6 the favourite. No, thank you. In-play stats, certainly. Spanish La Liga. The bottom of the league. These are the bottom two, I believe. And derbies can come in all different shapes and sizes. So just be careful. Probably not a match I would get interested in at all. Atletico Bilbao scoring 2 goals at last. Scored 2 against Mallorca. Scored 3 in the Europa League or Champions League midweek. So now they've found their mojo. As long as they're not fatigued, this could be a good chance for 3 points for them today. Let's take a look at some expected goals analysis. You saw how useful it was yesterday. It can show sides like West Ham who struggle defensively and could be vulnerable. We'll just look at the XG of a select group of matches, and hopefully you're learning in these videos how to look at the strengths and weaknesses. You can already see a 1.93 Heidenheim expected goals against, i.e. the Hoff hovering on the door of 1.5, which if you round it up, that's 2 goals a game. But they do let sides in as well. So there's a possibility of both teams to score here, with Heidenheim struggling perhaps to score that second goal, struggling to keep that second goal away. So the Hoff should be advantaged here today on the expected goals. This is the struggle that Sunderland will be having today. It's a Chelsea side with very, very strong expected goals for, creating enough in a game to score 2+ goals. They're playing a Sunderland a little blunted and struggling away from home. But they do offer a little bit defensively, don't they? So Chelsea are going to have to work to score their 2 goals. It could be some resistance from the Black Cats. That's what that 1.22 suggests. But very, very strong attacking metrics suggest Chelsea will have far too much nous for this lot by the end of 90 minutes. Looks like another frustrating afternoon for Liverpool, or another difficult away fixture for Liverpool. Brentford creating good chances. Again, if that heads above 1.5, it's round it up to 2 goals a game, creating enough chances for. Similar story for Liverpool, as you know very well. Slightly better expected goals, but slightly worse expected goals in defence. That's because of their 2-1 defeats recently. That's the reason this has gone up. Brentford have 2 goals in the locker at their very best. That matches that. Liverpool could be vulnerable to 2 goals today if they don't sort their defence out. And look at Brentford. They can offer some firm resistance at the back as well. If Liverpool do lose, it's likely to be a 1-2 defeat, as has been the case in all of their other defeats this season. But 3 consecutive Premier League defeats, that's your potential angle in. Are they really going to have a 4th? It's a London derby, and on that basis, you can't discount Crystal Palace, particularly in this kind of an attacking mood. Helped no end by that 3-3 against Bournemouth. You can see the potential in Crystal Palace for 2 goals a game. But they are playing one of the tightest defences in the country. That is exceptional expected goals against for Arsenal. Not even giving sides a chance for 1 clear goal. So this has 2-0, 2-1 written all over it. But it is a London derby. We might see a competitive Crystal Palace here. Worryingly, though, their expected goals in defence is nowhere near as solid as the Arsenal's. You'd be favouring the Arse today, but it is a London derby. And one last match. You can quite clearly see FC Köln's trouble, giving sides enough chance for 2 goals a game. Dortmund won't need an invitation. Dortmund becoming defensively stout as well. And with a lacking attacking mind for Köln, could be some problems. So I'll see you for a live stream, youtube.com/@FootballTradingProfits. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see members for a live stream and yourselves from 2 p.m. or 2:30.